Hi and welcome. This is our first episode of the first branching channel off of Sacred Enzyme called Returning to Our Roots. And so the very first episode I wanted to honor our primordial mother by segueing in our first episode on the right context, I suppose, what you want to call it. So the first thing I wanted to do is I wanted to document the first exchange that I'm doing with someone that's working also with the planet, who is involved in, doing work in astral just like I do. And I definitely feel like she is from the same soul collective as me. If I met her, I probably know her. I probably met her and had many, many lifetimes with her. She's also from these lines that I am from. These lupine warrior lines, these lupine guardian lines, the in-betweeners. So this channel member, and I'm not going to use their name because, everyone can consent or choose to be anonymous. And we've talked about things in the past and she's chose to remain anonymous, and I respect that. And so I wanted to go over what we were going to do with the first exchange, how it works, and so everybody can kind of get excited as I am about how we can make such a good a dent in bringing in and reactivating codes, waking up the primordial mother's memory, helping tune Earth back in. So this is a program that I started quite a while back, and I've been sharing and exchanging this a lot with my friends, trying to get people involved. And it's the whole point of it is restoring the memory of Earth. So every true seed is a memory. It's not a genetic code, but a living harmonic, okay? An echo of time before distortion, before modification, before the forgetting. When a non-genetically modified mother seed is planted into the soil, it does more than grows a plant. It offers the Earth her memory back. Heirloom seeds carry the original resonance blueprint of the biosphere, untampered, unaltered, and unchanged. They are not just food, they are frequency archives. This is what the story of Noah is all about. What happens when we plant them? When we plant these ancestral seeds with intention, with presence and breath, we re-encode the land with pre-distortion intelligence. We recalibrate magnetic fields that have held trauma, extraction, and forgetfulness. We invite the soil to resonate again with the harmonic trust. And most importantly, the seed does not fight. It does not argue, it simply remembers. That remembrance becomes vibration. That vibration becomes coherence. That coherence is what raises the planetary frequency. Not through escape, guys, but through embodied stillness. So why this matters now? As genetically modified organisms proliferate on the planet, they're overriding the Earth's fractal memory. Okay, these memory structures have introduced distortion, fragmentation, and dissonance into the living field. But heirloom seeds, true mother seeds, they bypass this interference because they were never edited. They remember what life sounds like before the interference happened. To plant them is to sing a forgotten song. To water them is to tune the body of Earth. To harvest them is to reclaim a sovereignty far deeper than ownership. It is frequency stewardship. So this is not symbolic. It is biological resonance. Every cell of the Earth is listening. When you plant these seeds, you're not gardening. You're restoring a harmonic archive. One seed becomes a beacon. One garden becomes a field. One field becomes a grid. And when enough grids awaken, the Earth no longer vibrates from memory loss. She vibrates from harmonic coherence. So this is how we change the frequency. This is how we raise the vibration, not by ascending, but by remembering through the roots. So the way that we do this is anybody that would like to be involved, if you're interested in working in the sacred nodes of the planet to help usher in a wonderful new age, helping wake the planet up, making our transition through this convergence a lot smoother than it has to be, this is the program. Okay, this is one little baggie of dirt that's from my yard. I live on Central Florida. This is a sacred node. This is a crystalline ridge. Okay, this is a sacred spot. Okay, I'm sending a little packet of this soil from my yard Also, this little black piece in here, this is when I went to Tiger Creek Forest. I still have that footage on my son's GoPro. I got it on a disc, I mean a card. Anyway, I picked up this piece of ancient accretion. This was being pushed up out of the ground there. It almost looks like basalt, the only way I could describe it, or volcanic rock in a way. But this is ancient. This is very, very old. There's been many, many Floridas. Plus, there's also sand in here that's from Siesta Key, Florida, which is sacred. This is also a piece of shell from that beach. And then I included a mother of pearl. You can give this as an offering or keep it for yourself. It's up for you to choose what you feel like is right. Okay, so in the Earth Exchange packet, you'll get one seed packet. On the front of it, it's just a little bit. It tells you it's a seed offering and when I created it. And I'm asking that the person that's participating in this project to bury it before the new year. This is why I'm doing this tonight, so I can get this in the mail first thing in the morning. Okay, so what's included in this? This is the inventory inside this envelope. There is one Mexican common bean, which is New Mexico bolitas. There's one flint corn, Florani. And there's one Mariana Jicaga pumpkin. And so these are all heirlooms and very special varieties. So the three sisters is what my Pleiadian brothers and sisters were coming and telling me was the most important thing to get sewn into the planet's memory banks, is the three sisters. The Native Americans knew how to do it, guys. So if you have a seed bank that's a native seed bank, if you can get your hands on Anasazi beans, the ancient beans, that's a really good deal. That's a really good deal. That's what we need. Okay. So you bury the entire envelope, guys. You find a spot that calls to you. Stop, ghost. You find a spot that calls to you. Okay. A sacred spot, a ley line, wherever. You place the whole packet in the ground, plus the sample of dirt. Put this in there. And these things as well, like I said, you can keep mother of pearl for yourself or you can give it as an offering. Okay, then you speak, Mother, we return your memory to your body. May your codes awaken here. You pour water, spring water, milk, or honey as a gift on top of it. Cover and leave in silence. This is all you have to do. You don't have to worry if it grows. You don't have to worry about any of that. These are memory capsules. They don't have to grow. Eventually they could grow, just like they found the old date seeds in the desert that were 2,000 years old and they grew these beautiful date palms again. So, I mean, it's all possible. It's all possible. So this person that I'm sending this to, I've included also some wonderful heirloom seeds that are from my garden. And I think this is another thing that's so important is that people that live in these wonderful energy spots all over the planet, when you grow things in your yard that are heirloom, and then you have seeds that you harvest from these plants, what you're doing is you're tying the energy here to the energy to another place. Like if I send someone lilies from my yard that I grew and then they gave birth to seeds and I harvested those seeds and those seeds turned to little plants and I sent these plants out to all my friends all over. When they put those in the ground, they're connecting. These are like what we talked about earlier. I took my thing down because I was trying to get more light in here. But when you draw 2 points, right, you're creating an action, right? You're creating an action. So this is what we're doing here. We're creating action. So by doing the earth offering program, we're tying these sacred nodes together. And when we grow things in our yard lovingly with an intent, like what we intend to learn here, and we share them, we're just sewing in things all over together, back together. We're putting the pieces back together. We're waking up the memory of the planet. So I wanted to go through some of the seeds that I've grown here in my own yard that I'm sending to Anchor In, and you know, I encourage everybody to get involved with this. It's really amazing. So the one thing is Meyer lemons. I sent her Meyer lemon seeds from my tree that I've grown Meyer lemons in my yard. When I harvest mine, I very delicately harvest my lemons so I don't damage the seeds. Then I dehydrate them and package them. Tiger lilies. These are beautiful orange tiger lilies that I have growing in my yard. They've been here since many people that lived here before me, the original owners. The bulbs come up every year, and now they give me seeds. I harvest those seeds, and I share them. Milkweed, yellow milkweed. I did a project when we first moved here 8 years ago, and I had one plant of yellow milkweed, and I made it into this little country chair with a bottom, but it ended up getting so massive that I had to transplant it. Now I have hundreds and hundreds of plants all over my yard. I just had a huge harvest today. Milkweed, all you do is just throw it to the wind, and it grows, and it takes care of so many butterflies. They love it. They love it. I have permanent residents in my yard, and you know what? Nobody's going to tell me not to grow milkweed in my yard because I'm destroying the migration patterns of the butterflies. First of all, they need to quit destroying the habitats. So you know what? I'm a home away from home. That's what I am. Okay, so I have acorn squash and pie pumpkins in here. Seeds of Change heirloom okra. I've been growing this in my yard for years. Okra grows the most beautiful flowers, and the seed pods are always full. Absolutely wonderful. And okra is so nutritious. Pampas grass. I have been caring for the same pampas grass for probably 30 years now. I've moved it everywhere that I've went in all of these years, and these are seeds from those plants. This has been growing on Hesperides Road for many a moon. This is the special one. These are canna lilies that I got from the water at Bach Tower Gardens. This sits on top of a meteor. So for these seeds right here, because they're canna lilies, you have to score them a little bit with a knife. So you can learn how to germinate them online, but super easy. You just take a little hacksaw and just do a scratch across them. It's like scoring. So anyway, when you plant these, you can plant them down by your water's edge if you live by a lake. And that's going to bring a super extremely special spot and anchor it in there. These are Mississippi purple hull peas. My father's grown these for eons. This is the same old set of peas that's been giving birth to peas and peas that I got growing in my yard right now. Bag of those. These are great. I got her some white Sonora heirloom wheat, some Davis green cotton, some cotton, because you know what? We got to help each other. We got to get self-sustainable, guys. If somebody can grow something in another area that you can't grow here, we need to help each other out, guys. We got to do this. Comfrey. My cousin sent me this from Bonseor, Alabama. Comfrey is a very expensive herb, and it is very beneficial. You can plant comfrey around your plants, around your trees. Hibiscus and red sorrel. That's medicinal. Wheat, more wheat, and loofah. This loofah I have grown right here outside of my window. I made soap with it. I harvested it, dried it, took the seeds out, gave a lot of them to my friends, replanted some. And then I took some of my loofah that I dried. I cut it all up into little tiny pieces and put it in my soap molds. And then I made a foot bar, a bar of soap that you use to exfoliate your feet. And I also made a hand soap. That's for when you work out in the yard. You can get your hands clean. And it's got all kind of wonderful things in it. And then I created a essential oil that is an infusion of Owapu ginger cones. I have a video where it's mushroom rings and shampoo things. That's the Owapu ginger. That's the end of the video. They're those red cones. Well, I dehydrated some of them. I kept turning them every single day, and literally it took me a month to dehydrate them, to dry them, and keep all of that wonderful enzymatic fluid in there and not running out. And then after they finally dried, I powdered them up, infused them with oil, Then I took, and I'm telling you, it is an amazing oil. And then I added 4 different kinds of essential oil that's good for scarring, healing, hydration, mood, you name it. There's a bunch of different kind, and we can go through the list, and I'll show you. But you know, these are the kind of things that I'm making here. We don't have to go to the store and buy products to put on our face because we're trying to look younger. We need to look like we're just taking care of ourselves, and we're putting nourishment through our skin. Yes, I'm 54 years old. I used to weigh almost 350 pounds. So I've lost almost 200 pounds, a whole other person. And this is years of trauma and being in the SSP programs. It messes up your body. And I've had a lot of injuries. So, you know, if I can do it, anybody can do it. If I'm telling you, if anybody can do it, you just got to be strong-willed, and thank God I am. So this is going in this envelope. It's getting sent out tomorrow. I didn't put her address on the front, but I want to put this into the field because I'm so super excited that, you know, we have our first patron of Mother Nature stepping forward to be a part of this program. So God bless you. So I'm packing this up. I'm downloading this to the channel. So we did our official dedication packet to the Primordial Mother and started our first node on December 26, 2025. So we have met our commitment of getting started and putting it into the field before the new year. So welcome to our new channel where we're returning to our roots, and I'm super excited. So first thing tomorrow morning, we're gonna go in the kitchen because my patchouli oil finally came. I've been waiting on this for a month to make this dragon's blood frankincense resin soap, and it's every step that goes into my soap is a process. So with that, we're going to be starting a return to our roots, embracing the 12 to 13th archetype. I'm super excited. Getting this ready to go. I'm going to put the address on it. Put about 5 million stamps on it. Take it down to the office and mail it tonight. Because when you live out in the country, your post office is only open like 2 hours a day. So with that, I'm super excited. Welcome to the channel, everyone. And thank you so much for being here while we return to our roots. Have a good night. Bye-bye.